Scoot up, Beth. You go stand over there by me.
Well, here we are, Sunday, August 8th, August 7th, 1988.
Yeah.
Oh, Mama. You didn't want me to bring it all up.
Break it up, guy, like I'm trying to put you out the door.
That's what I get rid of.
Trying to put you out the door. There we go. What a group. What a now, man.
Hi, sweetie.
Mama,
What?
when is Mama Beth gonna be here, Mama?
Mama Bess is here.
Not me, Mama Tata.
Mama Tata's not here yet. She'll be here soon.
I can't decide. You know what? Come here, man.
Hopefully that 5 years took a toll.
Carolyn, turn around.
I believe he got to eat a little bit of that somewhere along the way.
There's
Get a picture
Bill.
of Dad here.
Huh?
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
First one last night, last one this time. Since we got to be
Second generation here. Well, I got Brian. Where's Miss Beth?
Hey guys, no one can check.
And there's Alex. Hi, Alex. Oh, Brian, you're going to be so sorry. You're going to be so...
It's when they're eating.
I want y'all to like it.
Yeah, I'm 50 years, boy. You better. 50 years, same woman too. Most of them get a new one, you know. 2 or 3 of them. Mine not laughing, you know.
Sure get Aunt Lou getting some grits. Uncle Henry's probably eating fish.
I'm very seldom see you.
I did. Aunt Lou, is it good? Drew?
I gotta keep up with them. It's got a movie camera.
Pat, is there enough food there? Liza, how are you doing?
Guess you'll use this one back.
Now, Bob, I don't want you to go home hungry. Nothing you like? Yeah, turkey and dressing.
Cheese on top. Huh? Does want some cheese?
Bob, you trimmed your beard. That looks nice.
Show
On this camera, yeah.
Well,
They're not going to eat just vegetables. Oh, yeah, they can.
We get dessert.
Leave it to trust.
I got you, Miss Moore.
Did you?
I got you, too.
Not one, Nick.
This is living proof here that this baby's not a dog.
That's true.
Robert? Yeah, you look busy. See what they're eating here today.
twice.
Oh.
Don't break the camera, cut it off.
pretty good wearing flowers.
First weekend in August, 50 years after it started. Do you like that thing? Oh yeah.
Head table. Whoa.
Are we in the line of fire?
Oh boy, I can't wait to see how that turns out after this is.
How, Mama? That's right. Yes, you are. Did you eat some of Mama's cheese puffs? No? Yeah, I think you did. You should go back.
Mom,
Hmm?
can I go back and get some buns? Buns?
You got a kiss for Mama? That okay?
How about a kiss for Daddy?
What about one for me? I'll take it. Good.
There's Andrew and Brian and Barry and Alex. Did you all get enough to eat?
Almost.
Matthew did.
Andrew's still working on his plate.
Matthew. Hey, I got some.
Chicken skin.
Matthew did. Matthew got
You got a nice bunch of babies.
Well, thank you. It's been a job. Doc, you can go back. You're done. You can go back. These pretty girls.
Irate.
Well, you kind of wonder who sat down first, Bobby or the girls.
I think I was left.
Be sure to give Bobby and Cindy today their anniversary.
Oh, is it? We'll put you up there by the cake.
Yeah.
And how many of you all been married?
17.
17 years.
17 today.
Working on 18 now.
Okay, 33 more years, and your picture will be up here on the head table.
Only 33 more.
That's awesome. No sweat.
33 more years, and your picture will be in these frames. They've just gone back for fourths. Yeah, this is for the 6 o'clock news.
Hello there.
Hello there. Let me close in on that, Matthew. I didn't see. Hello, that's
Alright.
Liza, those rolls out there reminded me of your angel biscuits.
I'm gonna think about that.
But they weren't as good as yours. They're just about as light. Here, Beverly and Porter, the parents-to-be, enjoying one of their last meals. Last quiet meals.
Last quiet meal.
Last quiet meals. Do you all get enough to eat over here at this table?
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Moore. Oh, Mrs. Moore, you haven't even gotten your first plate yet.
That's right. If I drink till we look.
You ought to get them, go get something to eat.
What's the date? What was the date of that? Mine, June 22nd. That thing up here's like great. Frank, I'll put you in it. Sun is right there.
Close up on the macaroni.
say a few words to them. Some of you are a lot better equipped to say a few words to them than I am, because I've only known them a mere 36 years. Now, Ann's known them 5 years longer than that. Let's make that perfectly clear. She's a lot older. But I know Uncle Marion and Uncle Bill and Uncle Henry and Uncle Robert and a lot of other folks could say something about them or to them and would be a lot better equipped because you have a lot more information than I do. So I started scrounging around and thought after they made it 50 years, I hasten to say there was a lot of times when I thought they wouldn't make it 50 years. As we were growing up, seems to me I remember a few phrases like, I'm going to get in my car and y'all never going to see me again. And then there was...
The latest is I'm going to Florida.
I'm going to Florida. One of my favorite phrases was one that said, I'm going to buy me a train ticket, it's going to look like a roll of toilet paper. And every time that train slows down, I'm going to tear off another sheet. I've heard that one a few times. You would all know that I was lying if I said that they'd had 50 years of marital bliss. So I won't say that. They've had 50 years of high roads and low roads. And I dare say the high roads had 51% at least to tip the scales to keep them together for 50 years. And this thing kind of started out on a hot day, I think. Either that or you could say Dad had the hots. I'm not sure which it was. I started looking back through a few things. Henry and George. They said they were both nuts. He told Dad that he told Mother that he forbade her from seeing George. He didn't want her to see him anytime ever again. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what it took to cement the fact that they'd be married for 50 years, was that the father of the bride said don't ever see him again. I'm not going to bore the crowd for very long, but for those of you who didn't pick it up and read it, Dad kept a 5-year diary. Now, I've known a lot of men in my time in the Army and all over, and it's been said that Dad's nuts. Well, it might be because I've never known another man to keep a diary. Much less another man to keep a 5-year diary. But all of you are in the diary. Mostly Sadie's in the diary. But all of you are in the diary. And it's really interesting when you go back and you track through the 5 years. You could do a case history on the game that was being played between Sadie and what she was doing to George. That says here on February the 1st, 1936, it says, I saw Sadie today. It says that on almost every page. It says, I saw Sadie today. I love her more and more every day. I'm going to marry her. She don't know it yet. Then you turn over here and you look at February the 15th. And February the 15th says, I saw Sadie today. I think she loves me. She kissed me tonight. And you turn over to the very next day. I saw Sadie at school today, but she did not speak to me. I have no idea what is wrong. And then you turn over a few more pages here to March the 8th. And it says, Sadie and I had I wish you could read this. It says, Sadie and I had another heavenly date. We had a big time, and I sure do love Sadie more each time I see her. She said she would go to the old covered bridge in McCormick with me next Sunday. I truly cannot wait. Now that's enough to get one wanting to turn over to next Sunday, right? So you flip over here to the 22nd. And it says, hell. Mr. Porter asked Edna to go to the covered bridge with us. Sadie acted as if she did not know me. It says, she has made me so mad, she went out with Marion. I thought that was Uncle Marion, and then I found out it was not so innocent. You turn over a few more days, and it says, I do not know what she is doing because I have to be here at school. I heard from a friend she went out with Marion and she kissed him. And you turn over a few more pages, and it says, I am so mad, I told Mrs. Porter that she had kissed Marion.
I bet that did a lot of good.
And you turn over a few more pages, and he says, she tells me there's a wealth of information. I point out to those of you who have not seen it, this pink thing, I'm not sure what you call those. They don't sell those for my generation. This thing hanging down here has his favorite poem, which he bought one time when he was off at camp or somewhere. Bobby, can you read that poem on that?
National Guard in charge.
Says, sweetheart, I thought that you would like to know that someone's thoughts go where you go. That someone never can forget the hours we spent since first we met. That life is richer, sweeter for such a sweetheart as you are. And now my constant prayer will be that God may keep you safe from me.
He tells me that almost every night.
That's sweet. Well, this is what he was doing on Sunday, September the 13th, 1936, in Clemson, South Carolina. He starts his letter off, my dear Sadie, with my written up at the top in big letters. Darling, today is our day, as you no doubt know. I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask, what do you mean, today is our day, as you no doubt know? This is the first Sunday I've missed seeing you in about 4 months. I know no one else is in my place because I don't think you have or can find anyone that would take my Sunday date.
Oh my God.
I know I'll never find anyone but you, darling. I got to listen very carefully to catch this story. Robert, you'll remember this. Dad was up here last night for an hour or two. Someone poisoned and killed the horse we used to ride. Poisoned him so much that Dad brought up his stomach to have it analyzed at Clemson to see what kind of poison was used on the horse. He said he saw you working today in the store and that you said you had a letter that cost 12 cents to mail. Now think about it. Stamps were 3 cents. That was 4 3-cent stamps.
That's a book.
Yeah. A letter that cost 12 cents to mail, and that you were laughing because I sent it when there wasn't anything in it that was worth 12 cents in all. I asked Dad why he didn't bring you up here to see me, but he said that he didn't think you would want to ride in the same truck with a horse's stomach. But I think you love me enough that you would have. Wouldn't you? I'd go to see you even if it meant riding with a horse's stomach. Don't y'all want me to sit in here? I guess I tried to think a lot about this marriage. I haven't seen it from all perspectives. I've seen it from the perspective of a child. And as I thought about what to say, I thought, well, what in the world? I ought to be saying something about the marriage. And it's hard to say something about the marriage because I remember it as kind of growing up with him, which also had its ups and downs. Growing up with him, but I guess a few things now looking back, I'm probably qualified now to say a few things that I couldn't have said a few years ago, since I got 3 of these little rugrats of my own running around here. And what I ended up saying that I wanted to say to them was just thank you. And I could say thank you for a lot of things, so I'll try to focus it only on those things that, Alex, how old are you? I'll focus on those things that 8 years ago I didn't know I needed to say thank you for. Okay? And those things would include things like getting up in the middle of the night to feed the baby. And
Don't forget how he told you to clean the
Dad
house.
always did
and
that.
that was going to be the next one. And those 4,227 diapers that had to be changed. And all those nights of holding heads of little sick people as they don't feel good over the sink or other places in the house. I'd have to say thank you for, 'cause every day I could walk around and say who's cooking what for dinner, and invariably I would just eat wherever they were serving fried chicken that day. And whenever Aunt Lou would have cream-style corn, I would eat with her. On the other hand, I have to say thank you for moving back to the country. That happened when I was about 11 or 12. And probably ought to say thank you to Mother for that, because she said she wasn't going to go. She said that for, as far as I know, 11 or 12 years. As far back as I can remember, she was not going to go. But he built the house anyway, and she went. So it was one of those of, well, I'm going to move, and I hope you'll be there with me. And she was.
You're doing that wrong.
And now she won't move back. So I have to say thank you for that. I guess I have to say thank you for getting a go-kart one time. That was a lot of fun. And thank you for the broken leg that rapidly followed getting the go-kart. Being a parent that put up with 12 weeks in a cast. I have to say thank you for Ann's little blue Falcon that drove her back and forth to Greenville every Sunday night. And for the first 2 years, those Sunday night trips up to Greenville to take her back to school. Never did understand why Ann had to come home every weekend to see a horse, but she did. And I probably ought to say thank you for my little green Mustang, which drove me back and forth to school for 4 years in a row. And thank you for that first trip where they didn't say anything. We went all the way to Clemson. It's only 54 miles to Clemson. They acted like I was going to New York City. And we stood there by the pillar and shook hands and hugged and kissed, and Mother cried all the way home. So I'd have to say thank you for that. And I suppose I'd have to then say thank you because I almost came back and farmed, which a lot of days I think would have been a better thing now looking back on it. So I have to say thank you, though, for Dad turning loose, which is one of the hardest things to do. As I struggle myself with these little ones and just thinking ahead, I think the hardest thing it's going to be is to turn loose of them. And I don't know how they did it. I think about that a lot. Because Dad always talked about us being a pretty close group and a pretty close family. And this is a close family. It's one of the closer families I know of anywhere. And yet, when it got time for me to think about getting the job, one alternative was to stay in Greenwood and work at Lander or work at the county bank and still farm on the side. And Dad said, well, why don't you just go up and try that job for 2 years. And if you don't like it, you can always come back. But give it a shot. see what it's about.
Mom.
At some point in being a parent stops being a parent, and a parent starts being a friend. And I don't know exactly where it happened. I guess it was happening while I was off in school, and it happened after I left. But somewhere along the way, Mom and Dad stopped being parents, and they stopped saying, you ought to do this, I think you ought to do that, and they started saying, what do you want to do? And, well, if that'll make you happy, then that's what you ought to do. And so I thank them most of all for making the transition from being a parent to being a lifelong friend. And they've been that to me, and they've been that to Ann, and I think as evidenced by the 50 years that they've spent together, they've obviously been lifelong friends to each other. So with that, I toast you both. Hear, hear.
Ain't nobody got any better than two that we got. I couldn't change nothing about either one of them, I don't think. Although one of them does argue a hell of a lot.
That's me, Ann.
That's their prerogative.
You know.
But I think I got to do the best you have. When I must have done some doors for the whole family. I wouldn't trade my family for nobody's family. We have our little problems and our little puddles, but they all dry up.
Some of them, damn big ones.
Gotta watch.
Oh, you got anything to say?
Let's just say the good.
I think the diary done it all, George.
They say we better be careful how we keep diaries and write letters because our children might read them and
I will say one thing. I got a box full of letters she hid somewhere, and then Bill couldn't find them nowhere. She wrote.
I will have to say this, that Bill was the best letter writer at Clemson because he wrote all of his friends' letters, but he took everything from our letters, put in his friends' letters. I'm sure that penny was a hole, and it went to a lot of girls.
I got one advice to you. Don't ever tell your daughter, don't date that boy. Because, buddy, that's all she needs. She's going to marry that boy.
Oh, no.
I didn't tell you nothing about him. Nothing about his wife. In other words, don't you let them do what they want to do. Then they can't look back and say, well, you called me to do so and so. Don't have that hung on you. You stay out of that. That's my advice to you on that. But, that's the way you cook trouble.
Well, I will have to say that we really enjoyed our 50th anniversary. Thank you.
Y'all made it mighty nice.
It took a part in it.
Thank you for coming so far and being with us and all. Let's do this. Yeah.
Be careful with it. That's real close.
Can I look through that?
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Isn't that nice? One thing about it, when you're young, they give you steel. When you get old, they give you wood.
Isn't that pretty?
Isn't that nice?
Oh,
Pretty?
so pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, thank you. Hold them up now and see.
Hey, y'all.
Don't see all of it. Just
Pretty?
never see.
Got ducks.
Oh, yeah.
Real pretty.
Yeah.
Real pretty.
That pretty show me my braids like I did the other day.
Where Fox?
Folded up.
Where Fox? Show it over this way.
See the picture of them.
Got the ducks and all of it in there. Wood, all of it, real nice. That's real nice. We appreciate it. We'll feed you something on it. We're gonna do that this evening. Everybody coming to my house.
Daddy,
I think it's, I'm about out of battery.
Daddy, can I try it? Hurry,
About out of battery.
Coming to my boy.
We made and you make it. And then you cut them in half.
Right.
We're gonna feed you on this tonight. Huh? Oh, what? Oh, we're gonna have tonight. Why don't you get that on there?
I'm not sure I'm the first film, but y'all keep smiling.
Y'all keep smiling. I don't have any film in mine. Ain't losing all of it.
Well, I'll look.
Look at film here. Everybody look here.
That's right. Got on TV.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Y'all give all your smiles. We're going to send this in to, what's his name, Willard? Willard, TV weatherman. 100-year-old put on. Say, this is the group, everybody in the picture is 100 years old.
I close my eyes, but here we are. All right, now get one more bit. We'll close our eyes. Dot and Joe and Ann. Well, we will see y'all. Where's Henry and Bill and okay.
Okay, I already got. This is to dispel any rumors about how anybody thought that it was calm and quiet living in the country with George and Sadie over the years. This is a story about how it was when I was a little boy. How it was living around Whitehall with George and Sadie.
That's why he left.
And why I ended up leaving and moving to Indiana, 1,000 miles away. See, we moved back to the farm, and everybody thought that it was peaceful down here on the farm. They all thought that we were coming down here and it was going to be a quiet night in the country. Every night. But it wasn't that way. And I'm here to set the record straight that it wasn't that way. Because you see, several things you have to know, to keep in mind. One is that as I was an adolescent, I was modest. That's the best way to describe it. I was modest because, you see, I would sleep in my underwear. And I'd be back there in my room asleep in my underwear, and from time to time, Dad would call me and ask me to get up. And every time he'd call me and ask me to get up, I wouldn't go into his room without getting dressed. And this was part of what caused a quiet night in the country not to be quite so quiet. But you see, what would normally happen around here would be that we would start to go to bed. At least Mother and Dad would start to go to bed about 8 o'clock in the evening. You know, because Dad always talked about how he was working so hard. Yeah, I mean, after all, he said, this is him talking now. He says, who the hell do you think's working so hard? Nobody in this family is working but me. I'm the one that's working day and night, all the time, working, trying to earn a living for this family. So I got to go to bed early. And so he'd go back there and he would turn in to bed about 8 o'clock. Now, one would think that they were getting ready for a quiet night in the country, but they really weren't, you see, because what would happen would be Mother, when they turned into bed at 8 o'clock, Mother would read. She still does. She reads. And Dad, he didn't read. He would think. Now, no one knows what he was thinking about. Some say it was sex. Mother never confirmed that it was sex. There's no confirmation to that at all. But she would read, and occasionally he would read. And he would read, when he would read mystery novels. He would read these scary novels. And the more he would read, the more scared he would get. He'd lay back there, and he would read these scary novels. And they'd talk about people in farm families getting murdered. They'd talk about people in the middle of the night, having people walk in on them on the farm and getting their heads cut off. And it would just scare him to death. He was a great big grown man, and he'd sit back there and he'd read, get himself all in a froth, all scared. About 10 o'clock, I'd always turn in every night, and I'd go back and I'd get in my bedroom and I'd take my clothes off down to my underwear because I was crying. Bill! Bill! Bill, you sleep yet? Hey, Bill! Hey, Bill! You asleep yet? No, Daddy. Daddy, I'm not asleep. He said, you sure ain't not asleep? I'm not bothering you, am I? I said, no, Daddy, I'm not asleep. He said, well, come in here for a minute, would you? So I'd get up, and I'd put my breeches back on because I was modest. And I'd walk down the hall, and I'd say, yes, Dad, what can I do for you? And he'd say, I'd like to have a drink of water.
That's true.
It's a long way up to the kitchen. I'd like to have a drink of water. I say, all right, Dad, I'll get you a drink of water. Everything I'm telling y'all is true.
Yes.
I'd say, I'll get you a drink of water, and I'd walk back up to the kitchen, and I'd get him a drink of water. I'd get all the way back just to the door, just as I'm turning the corner, and you could hear him yell, and he'd say, put 2 cubes of ice in that water for me, would you? I'd turn around, I'd walk all the way back to the kitchen, and I'd put 2 cubes of ice in, I'd go back down that hall, and I'd give him 2 cubes of ice. He'd say, it's hot, I need this water, this is good. And I'd take the glass, and I'd sit it on the nightstand, I'd turn to walk away, and Mother would say, well, you're not going to leave that glass here in the bedroom, are you? That glass goes in the kitchen. You know that glass goes in the kitchen. We don't leave glasses laying all over the house. And I'd turn, I'd get the glass, and I'd walk back up the hall, and I'd put the glass back in the kitchen. And I'd come back, and I'd be back there in the bed. I'd be back there, and I'd get my clothes off, and I'd be settled in for a good night's sleep and a quiet night in the country. And you could hear them in there. And all of a sudden they'd be talking, and you couldn't tell what they were talking about. You couldn't tell what they were talking about. And lo and behold, you're hearing Daddy. And he'd say, Bill! Bill! Hey, Bill! You're not asleep, are you? No, Dad, I'm not asleep. What do you need? He'd say, come on in here. Come on in here now, because your mama's got a headache. And I'd get up, and I'd get dressed again. And I'd go creeping down that hall. And I'd say, now, what do you need here now? And she'd say, I got a headache. It's hurting right up in here. It's hurting right up in here. I think your daddy gave it to me. He's been over there thinking. I don't know what he's thinking about. And he's going to give me a headache. Would you mind getting me some aspirin? I'd go over there, and I'd get the aspirin out, and I'd get some water out of the sink there in the bathroom, right there where the aspirin is, and I'd bring it over, and Dad would say, you're not going to get any ice for our water? I'd turn right around and have to go into the kitchen. Have to go all the way, and he's laying up in there. And I don't know if y'all have ever seen this. Ain't any of you've seen it. When you used to spend the night with us out at the lake, and we'd all be laying up in that single room all asleep. He sleeps in his underwear. This was before the house was air conditioned. He'd be laying up in there, and he'd stand his belly here, and he had his underwear hanging out, he'd be just dripping wet. And he's, oh, I'm hot, I'm so hot. Hey, would you turn that attic fan on? I'd slip back down the hall, and this attic fan here's got a timer on it. This attic fan's got a timer on it. So I'd twist that attic fan, turn that attic fan, and the drapes just start blowing in. You can just see the air coming in. He's, oh yeah, that's a lot better. I'm cooling off. That's a whole lot better now. I'd go back and I'd get in bed. I'd be just about asleep. And Mother would have a chill. And Mother, you could hear her. You knew what was coming because Mother would say, you done turned that attic fan on, I'm just freezing to death over here. I'm just freezing to death. You over there with a hot flash and I'm over here just freezing to death. Lo and behold, Dad said, well, that's no problem. Bill won't mind fixing it. Hey, Bill! Get up. Can't you hear your mama? She's in here. She says she's cold. Get up there and turn that fan. It's your fault. You turned it on too long. So now this time I'd take a lot of risks because I was dark in the house. And I'd take a lot of risks. And I'd come tiptoeing down the hall and I wouldn't put my pants on because I figured it was dark. And just as I was reaching for the fan, the timer would kick it off. And he'd go, no. And the timer kind of say, God, maybe I'll get to bed. And I get to bed and I'm just about asleep. And lo and behold, over on that dirt road, it's about 3 miles over here, you could hear dogs barking. he's been reading what? Murders. He's been reading mystery novels, and he believes that people will steal his cows. Did you know that? He believes that people will steal his cows. Now, the fact of the matter is that all 4 or 5 of us with hired help on horseback cannot catch cows and get them into a cow chute. But he is absolutely certain that anybody could back up to a gate down there and open a gate and just open the back of your truck and say, "Here, cow, come on, cow, jump in the back of this truck," and all of his cows would jump up in the back of the truck. And all of a sudden he hears dogs barking. And you hear him, you hear the dogs, and I say, "Oh God, no, the dogs are barking, I know what's going to happen." Now this time though, he doesn't say, "Hey Bill." He doesn't say, "Hey Bill." Come on. He comes over and he comes like this. He comes into my room, and he comes over like this and he says, "Bill. Bill, hey Bill, Bill, you awake? Bill, you awake?" I said, "Oh God, Daddy, I'm awake. I'm awake. What is it? What is it?" You know why he's whispering like that? He doesn't want to scare them all. If they hear him up, he'll scare them all, and he doesn't want to scare them all. So he comes over and says, "Hey Bill, hey Bill," and he shakes me out of bed. Right here. Now he's not going to get on the other side of this house, because he's been reading these novels. And he is absolutely scared to death. So he's not going to go out. So I take off and I go past the little barn and I cross the fence and there's a full moon. And I get down there to the creek and then lo and behold, I'm down there to the creek and there's the fence and I hear the dogs. And they're about 3 miles on the other side of the self property. And as I'm walking back and I'm coming up by the garden here, a rabbit jumps up, and I got a shotgun, and so I just take a couple of shots, bang, bang. I don't think anything about it. I don't hit them. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I come on up across the hill here, and by this time, just as I'm cresting the hill, I see the spotlight. If you hit that white switch over there, that center switch, it's a spotlight. It lights up the whole end of the house down here. And here I come across that field, and I'm carrying this shotgun. And I look up here, and what do I see standing here at the end of the house? Here's Brer Fox. He's standing there, and he's got his belly hanging out, and he ain't modest. He's in his underwear, and he's got his hands, and he's hanging onto the fence like this. Smooth wire fence, we put that up there. Smooth, he's hanging onto the fence like this, and I get up there just where the old barn Granddaddy built is torn down now. Yes, and Brer Fox says, "Well, did you get him? Did you get him? I'm shooting my cows down there. What's going on?" I said, "Oh, Daddy, the cows is way over here on the other side of Mr. Self's. They had nothing to do with your cows, man, nothing at all." He said, well, what were you shooting the gun for?" I said, "Well, I saw a rabbit." He said, "Well, did you kill a rabbit?" I said, "Well, no, I didn't kill a rabbit." He said, "Well, what the hell were you doing wasting shells?" Lo and behold, golly, we came back in. I got him all calmed down, put him back to bed, served him some ice water to sink so we wouldn't have that one to go through again. And had a reasonable night's sleep until about 3 o'clock. No. We got a cow. He says she's going to die. I said, "Oh, God, Daddy, let her die. Let her die. It'll be all right. Let her die." He says, "Oh, she's laying over there. She's a sad sight. She's over across from Robert's house. She's laid out. She's got her head laying on the ground. She just barely can move her tail." We had a refrigerator in this closet with all the cow medicine in it. He says, "Come on and help me. Just come on and help me give her a shot." I said, "You don't need no help for that." He said, "Oh, I might need some help with a needle. Come on and give me some help with the needle. We'll give her a shot. Maybe we can save her if we get over there." He says, "There won't be no trouble. She can barely move. She can barely move." So I send him out of the room so that I can get dressed, because I'm very modest. And I say, "Okay, you go on in there to the refrigerator and you get the medicine. And you get the medicine and I will be there in just a minute." And he says, "I'll meet you in the truck." So he's out there in the truck and he's just got it all ready to go to save his cow. And I get in the truck and we go across the creek. And we're across the creek and we can't find this cow. This is a cow that's laying down just about dead that we can't find. And we look everywhere for this cow, and finally he spots her up on the hill. And he thinks it'll be no trouble, and he tells me to get out and catch this cow. And I chase this cow all the way to the front of the place up to Miss Moore's house. This is the cow that came with me. She's a dead cow. And I chase this cow all the way down behind the pond, and I chase her all the way down to the back of the place. And we turn around, this is a true story. We turn around and we chase this cow all the way back up to the fence that runs down by the little pond. And I grab this cow by the tail, and she drags me through all kind of stuff in the field. And I don't like that kind of stuff. That's why I'm gone today. And finally, this cow jumps over the woven wire fence, and she gets her two hind legs caught in the fence. And she's laying there like this. You've seen cows lay like this. She's laying there like this. She's got her feet up in the fence like that. And she's held down by the fence, not by me. Now, this cow's almost dead. You got to keep that in mind. She's almost dead cow. And then he's standing there, and he's so excited. He's got the medicine vial up like this, and he's sucking that medicine down, and he's getting that medicine down that syringe, and he's holding that bottle, looking at it, and he hands it to me, and he says, "Give her the shot. Maybe you'll save her life." And I give her the shot, and I say, "Now, Daddy, while we got this cow, is there anything else you want to do? I mean, would you like to milk her? Or would you like to dehorn her? Or would you like to do anything else? Because she's almost dead and we don't want to have to catch her again." And he says, "Why, hell no, don't be making fun of me." He says, "Turn that cow loose and let her go. Maybe she'll be well." And so I get some pliers and cut the wire out off of her feet and get her up. She takes off to the back of the field. And we're heading back to the truck, the two of us. And he looks down and he says, "Well, I'll be damned." I said, "What do you be damning about?" He said, "Well, I'll be damned. You just gave that cow a shot of hog collar of medicine." Hog collar of medicine. I said, "Well, if it don't cure her, she's going to die, because I ain't going to catch her again." So we ease on back over here to the house. And he says, "Well, now we got a garden. We got to go pick the garden down." He says, "Come on down here. We'll pick the garden." He says, "I'll walk on down here and give you the pleasure of driving the tractor." And it's still early. The dew is still on the corn. And there's nothing I hate more than walking down through a garden with all the pollen on the corn, and the dew still on the corn, and the corn slapping you in the face. It makes you feel worse than anything in your life. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. But you can hear him, because he's doing a skilled work. He's going down these rows, and even to this day, I don't know how to do what he's doing. He's going down these rows, and he's feeling the ears. And then he's picking them off. He ain't laying them in a pile. He's dropping them at his feet. And then he feels one over here, and he goes, drops it off at his feet. And he feels one, he drops it off at his feet. He drops it off at his feet. He drops it off at his feet. He gets down there, it's a long garden. He comes back, he does the same thing. And he harvests about 12 rows. And I don't understand what's so unique about it, because he picks every ear of corn that's on every stalk and drops it down at his feet. And then wants me to walk down through there and grovel it up and put it in bushel baskets and tote it. And then when I'm about working on the first row, he says, "You done yet?" I said, "No, I'm not done yet."
Just like it.
He says, "Well, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to spray for bugs." Have you ever sprayed for bugs in the garden? He says, "I'm going to spray for bugs while you picking up that corn." And he's got him one of these little sprayers about this big, and it's got a little red handle on it. And while I'm over there toting these 60-pound things back and forth to the wagon, you can hear him. He's over there, and he's going. He'll stop, he'll walk over here, he'll... And every once in a while he'll turn and say, "You done yet with the corn?" I said, "No, I'm not done yet." And you'll hear him go. And then after a while, when he'll say, "You done yet?" And I say, "Oh, Dad, I'm just now getting done." He'll say, "Well, it's about time." And he'll come on over and he'll say, "Well, I'm going to walk up here because I know you like to drive the tractor. You can drive the tractor." So I get to open the 4 gates to get back to the house again. And we pull up out here, and I start to head into the house. And he says, "Well, where the hell are you going?" I said, "Well, what do you mean, where am I going? I'm going to the house to get a glass of iced tea because I like Mother's iced tea." He says, "Well, you can't do that. You got to shuck all this corn. Your mother's going to put this corn up today. Why, you're just ungrateful. Who do you think's going to shuck this corn? You want your mother out here in the wagon shucking all this corn? You get out here and shuck this corn." So I'm out there, and right there by the gate, we're shucking the corn and blowing the silk off and laying it off to the side, getting it all in the house. Oh, we're about to finish up around 11:30, as I recall. Get all the corn in here. Lottie Mae's over here, and she's helping Mother can it. Mother understands what's going on. So Mother says, "Well, Bill, why don't you go out in the yard and get some rest?" So I go out here, and we used to have an old army bed. It used to sit right out under that tree. And I'd have a mattress, and I'd roll that mattress out of that army cot, and I had me a Zenith radio, and I'd run me an extension cord from those lights. There's lights up there, that electricity, and I'd run that down there to that extension cord, and then I'd get me a quart plastic cup of iced tea. And just as sure as the world, as soon as I would sit that quart cup of tea down and get ready to put my foot up on that bed, he drove a red Volkswagen. All morning earning a living for this family, and you down here just laid up with your feet under the tree. I bought you a new tractor. You're supposed to be out there cutting the bushes in the field. Get on out of here and be cutting the bushes in the field. You're never supposed to be laying up here in the middle of the day. You're supposed to get your rest at night. The routine didn't change a lot when I left, because they'd still go to bed at 8 o'clock, and Mother would still read, and Brad Fox would still think and read those mystery novels and get himself scared. And lo and behold, one night, the dogs started barking. Now, we know when the dogs start barking, what's happening? Cow. Somebody is stealing the cow. Somebody is stealing the cow. And we know that for a fact. Red Fox got up. He got up and he came through this kitchen door here. And he went and he looked out that front door. He didn't turn any lights on, because why didn't he turn any lights on? He didn't want to scare him away. He didn't want to scare him away. But he looked, and sure enough, right down there at one of those garden gates, tail lights. You could see them. Every once in a while, you could see them. The tail lights would blink. It was a July night. It was hot. It was a light night like tonight. And there was a full moon. And the full moon comes up right over that road. Right over that road down there. And you could see these tail lights blinking, so you know somebody down there stealing those cows. So Brer Fox, who I remind you is still not modest at all. Brer Fox goes back and he gets great granddaddy's 38 lemon squeezer pistol with the pearl handles. And he puts that in his hand. And he comes right down here and he walks down this driveway. And this is Highway 221. It's a main highway between Greenwood and Augusta, Georgia. There's a lot of cars on it. And here, at about 2 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, Brer Fox, he's got his underwear hanging down like this right here. And he's got his 38 pistol in his hand. And he ain't wearing nothing on top. He's in his underwear. And he's walking down the road with his 38 pistol. And lo and behold, it's not cow thieves. It's a little couple. And they've been to the show and out to dinner. And they decided to come down here and park in front of the gate. And then to take a look at the moon coming up over the trees. And lo and behold, they are sitting there talking. They are sitting there talking when the girl looks up and coming down the road, she sees a sex-crazed maniac in his underwear with a .38 revolver in his hand. And they take off and they leave black streaks of tires all the way down the street. And about 2 years later, I'm around with some of my friends and I'm telling this story about this fella that I'm living with who's walking down the street in his underwear. And I get to the part about how the tail lights were coming on and it's down on Highway 221. And this girl that I know, she stops me and she tells the rest of the story. It was her and her boyfriend. Scared him to death. They thought he was going to shoot him. And so that's the way it was. It's all true, and it all happened here every night between about 1960 and 1969.
Art Tutor Christmas Play, December the 16th, 1988. Here's a few friendly faces in the audience. Susan, are you a friendly face? I want to record this. Who was here? think there's two.
Maybe they're doing maybe.
It's a bigger class than that.
Oh. Oh.
Christmas morning, 1988, and the room is an absolute shambles.
Let us
It is
come.
an absolute shambles.
Hurry up.
Can't tell exactly, but it appears that Santa Claus was here last night.
Let us come.
Last night, it appears that Santa Claus entered this room,
Okay.
probably through this fireplace right here, because there is ashes and soot all over the room. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And here are these children. Where is Beth? Where is Beth?
Up there.
Well, Sam and Malk are coming.
Let us come.
Where is Beth? Oh my.
Go, Brian, it's yours.
It's your what?
Brian.
Wait a minute, I know Sam and Malk are coming.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
Where is Beth?
Hurry, hurry. Woo.
Where is Beth? Where is Malk?
Jeez, I don't know. Just let him come. Malk isn't here yet.
Malk isn't here yet? What?
Let us come.
What? Well, we'll wait on Malk and Sam. Let's see. Y'all don't need to come. I already told you Santa Claus came. You can go back to bed.
Oh, thanks.
Where's Santa and
Let's
Malk?
see what he brought.
Yeah. Let us come, they say. Let us come.
Let us.
About as patiently. Are you waiting patiently?
No. Yes. No.
Look at Beth. Beth's waiting patiently.
Patient.
Beth, are you waiting patiently? Yes.
Okay.
Beth is waiting patiently. Well,
Hurry, Beth.
come in here and see if Santa Claus brought you anything.
Us?
Yeah. Come on.
Well, you haven't opened your stocking.
That was
No.
Brian.
Oh,
They've been waiting on the stairs for about 20 minutes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, he certainly was messy,
It
wasn't
was a messy Santa.
he? Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Beth, what you
I got tape.
you got tape and what
Yeah,
was in
tape.
the top?
This.
Martha baby.
Baby. You've always wanted. What's this? Probably a book or something. This is a book, Alex.
Don't rush.
All right.
Mommy. A present was one of these.
Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad.
What is it, Brian? And what is it?
I don't know. What's the book?
Oh, books. Well, you need books.
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Christmas gummy bears.
What could this be? Tape. A bag. A bag of what? Baseball cards? Red Hot. Mommy, where are these? Baseball cards.
Baseball cards.
Yeah. This is good. Silly putty, woo! Right, I got silly putty. Hey, look! Silly putty.
Silly putty, Brian. Alex, you got silly putty?
Yeah, so right.
Where's yours, Brian?
Guys, we're getting a lot of presents. Alex, you're just taking a Mickey notebook. I'm getting all candy there. Candy.
Is that what's in the... You put that in the toe?
Yeah, no. Candy. Oh, one is out of the package.
Uh-oh, the wrapper must be inside.
Look at this. Look at this baby one. I'm gonna open the baby one.
What is that?
I don't know. Everyone
What'd you
gets
get, Beth?
something different. Well, I might as well throw this thing.
What'd you get? Show Daddy. Oh, boy.
Eraser! I got a little eraser.
Good.
Now I have one.
Good.
Alex, now I have a eraser.
Sticky buns and everything.
Alex,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
look.
far away. Probably not quite
Alex,
ready.
Eat
but he
everything.
didn't leave a note.
They must have been in a hurry.
Dad, Brian, I got a Mickey note.
Looks like...
Lipstick.
Or
What
can
in
you
the
use
world
it?
is this?
Do you know how to use it? Let's see.
Put it on here.
Don't get it on all over your face, just on your lips. Stick those lips out there and let me see.
3 pencils.
Stick those lips out there and use it.
Dad, no.
No.
Hey, Dad. Look. Dad. Alex, here's mine. One of those, I think. No, Brian. Brian, we didn't get the same. Gosh! Another pack of baseball cards. That's what.
What?
Another pack of baseball cards.
You
They're
did?
both the same. No! See? Those are mine. Did you? Mommy.
No, I'm sure Brian.
Mommy, let's play little book.
Yeah, Santa probably put one in the wrong stocking.
Santa probably put 2 in one stocking by mistake.
Hey, nerds! I can Mommy, look! I got more the card game. And then I got Magic Secret Mark card.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's that?
Magic
Huh.
There. Mom, I finished my stocking out.
Boy, that didn't take long, did it, Brian? You got that work out of the way for the day.
Eraser.
Because he put
Eraser.
You got erasers?
Uh-huh.
Well, Beth, you never make mistakes. Why do you need erasers?
Oh,
Well,
Alex! Uno!
Your own set?
Do those pencils have points?
You got your own set of Uno cards?
after
Yeah, both of us have them.
after all of this, there's surely nothing in the other room.
Nah,
This must be everything.
this must be all. I bet you Santa put everything in this room this year.
Nope.
Yeah, this must be it.
Nope.
Next
And
year,
there.
we're gonna wait and do Christmas the morning that I have a good night's sleep. Neither one
Look
of
what
us.
we saw in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Just whatever day that is. If it's January the 15th, that's
Thursday
okay.
and Monday.
That's right.
Why didn't you say
Well, what is all this stuff?
Beth, what is that?
Hey, Dad. Dad. Look, Daniel.
What is that?
Look,
Let's
Daniel. See you put.
What's it say?
Can I play with it for a while, Dad? I know.
Look, well, it's soothing.
A little piano. A little piano.
This must be. I know this.
What is that, Beth? Candy?
No,
No?
it's nail polish. Nail polish? You just know everything, Beth. Nail polish.
What? Nail polish?
Yeah.
And you already got lipstick, didn't you?
Yeah. Whoa. Nail. See? My eye.
Ready, co-ed.
See?
Plain what?
I can play
Ready,
you.
co-ed. Here it goes.
Very good.
I can play Yankee Doodle, Dad. Daddy, look.
Oh, boy. Beth, now that's makeup.
It goes on your cheeks.
That goes on your cheeks. Makes them
There's the
pink.
pink thing.
It's string in the living room.
Daddy, gloves.
You got gloves? You're
Oh,
kidding.
Dad, I guess
Beth
it's time
is
to
still
go.
opening. No, it isn't, Alex.
Yeah, Mommy.
I don't think so.
How about those presents?
Oh, yeah, what? Did he leave anything out there? Oh, don't tell her if she did. No, no. Breakfast here. And in fact, she's pretty well set up over here, as you can see, for lunch. Santa Malcolm is this pretty centerpiece. And here is a breakfast room with a little boy in it. It's Christmas morning. And lo and behold, it looks like once again Santa Claus did come. I'm looking. I think Santa did come. Santa Claus did come one more time.
Oh, looky here.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word, my word, my word.
Where's my
Where's your stuff?
This is all my stuff. How do you know? Because it's just Alex and all.
A dollhouse.
Did?
I don't believe it. A dollhouse? My word.
Goodness.
This is for everyone. Oh, Mom, yeah.
Wow.
Who gave it? Santa. I don't know. I love it. I want to play one. Oh, I love these. You have to start. Don't. Okay, go.
Boy, that's a good one.
Brian, you're about to knock it off.
I think it's an outside.
Here.
Here's how you, I think you hit this to reset it.
Is that too long? It can't be that long. He has 6
Boy, Alex, that's neat.
What'd you get, Brian?
What is it? It's your what? You got barrettes? Who gave you those, Beth?
What's it say? Brian, Santa.
Santa Claus? Oh, wow! Wow!
Oh, let's see what it is.
Need a little help with that?
A special blessing doll after all?
No. Now, how does Santa Claus know that?
Over the top. See if the top will open it up. Special.
Hey, Dad, I got a clip light. You clip it off and it lights.
A clip light.
I'm gonna put it above my bed.
Who gave you that?
You guys, Mom, Dad.
Oh, boy. Be sure to read the card so you know who gave you stuff.
Oh, bowling!
Beth got her by the hair.
I got a little bowling! Alex! Is that for I got bowling from Mom's signature box.
What'd you get?
Bowling.
Bowl-a-rama.
But I bet you have to share it.
Mount Diddy.
I'm gonna share it. Alex, this is mine. No. This is mine. No, this is yours. Mama, this is mine.
What does it say?
What'd you get, Beth? Oh, isn't she pretty?
Oh, this is big.
Very sweet. Very sweet, Beth.
Mom, where's your favorite?
What's that, Alex?
Stopwatch.
A stopwatch? Is that what you want?
Brian, it's Scotch tape inside.
Mom gave it.
You gonna let me borrow that to jog with?
Yeah.
Hey, let me see your stuff, stopwatch.
Oh, look, a ski sweater.
Oh boy!
And
Jammies.
And jammies.
You need those jammies.
Hey, Mom, thank you.
You're welcome.
What's that, Al Brian? Hold that up, let me see. Now, where did that come from?
Sand.
Well, isn't that nice?
I'll show you that.
Who's it from? What's his name?
Bowling. Again.
What'd you get, Brian?
You bully now! You're lucky!
This is from Santa?
I now send you on the beach.
What's that, Alex?
Just lamp.
A desk lamp. Were you needing a desk lamp?
Yeah, I got it from Mama's Chicken Bird Box.
Almost thinking
Wow.
You're kidding.
No! This is
Bet that's
really
great.
Let's see what
Pretty, all spangled, just like in the circus.
The leotard.
Very.
Very nice.
Very nice, Beth.
Oh.
Oh, I've never seen anything like that. What is that?
There's two best from Mama Sink and Brer Fox.
That's right there, Father and Pop.
Yes, I know who it is.
Thank you, Santa Now.
There, can you do it?
I'll get that.
Alex, turn around so I can occasionally see your face, son.
I got Owlet! Electric pinball.
Oh my gosh, well, we'll have fun with those in the car, won't we?
What's this? Is it a box? Mommy! Night bright!
Light bright.
Oh! Look at that!
Oh boy, light bright, whatever that is.
Night bright is this?
Alex.
Yeah. I think. Oh! That's
There.
what I got. I got one. Wow!
A desk lamp.
Let's
Yeah, put it on the rug. Good idea.
Mommy! Alex! Look what I got!
Books.
Books, my word.
Some nice books.
How this works.
Yeah.
These are from Alex.
You know how it works?
Yeah, I
Yep.
know how. These are from you. See, watch at night thing. You put these on.
Get these out of the way, man.
Yeah, it's over and done with.
This out of the way.
It's free in there, Mom.
Oh, he's got some in there. That's right. We haven't done those.
What is
What is it?
Ow.
It's a puzzle.
Oh, you got a puzzle? More books! I'm gonna do bowling. I got more books, Mom.
You got more books,
That's
Alex?
5.
You got 5 books? What's this book?
Stan, can you make
Is it a mystery?
Now, I am not going to hold this all morning now.
Here, Dad. Here. Put it
I'm
right
just
there.
not going to do it.
Dad.
Beth,
Can you
got
do it
some
from there?
secrets here.
Boy, look at that dollhouse. Wow. I don't think that one sunk in yet. Look at that.
I like the light bulb.
It's got little lights that light.
Another one what?
It's a robe.
A robe.
That-
My
And
word.
Roland liked it.
I like it.
You got a robe, Beth?
I got a nightgown like it.
You got a
and
nightgown?
like
Yeah. Very
Now you have a matching robe.
You have an ensemble.
Is there any batteries?
Bring me the box. No, you need to put batteries in.
Oh.
Go
Mom,
find
look
me
what I got
some.
from Santa. Mommy, who did this one?
What'd you get, Alex?
Santa.
You're kidding.
Wow. Let's see it.
Camera?
Yeah.
Looks like a big camera.
Brian's opened his and he's gone.
We're gonna get batteries.
Here's the camera.
Wow.
Neato.
Is it loaded? It might be loaded.
Wow.
This says
It's got a.
Beth from Mommy and
But it does it have film in it?
I don't know. Mom,
Come here, let Daddy look. Maybe I can tell.
Dad, should I open it?
Come here, let me look and see if I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah, Beth's wasting no time at all. Mommy, check that camera and see if he got film in it.
If you have to push it. Mommy! nothing in it. Do I have to warm it?
Beth, hand me your robe.
Let me look at it now.
South Cottage.
South Cottage.
Oh, and goals.
Here, Mom.
Whatever.
Mom, show it. Wait. Well, I want to see your face.
We want to see your face too.
Mommy.
Very good. Now we're covered.
Big to be on.
All right.
This room's been trashed.
Ice water.
Now, Malk, what did you get that you weren't sure who gave it to you?
Yeah.
Binoculars. Oh.
Warm water. Go for warm water on the baby's eye makeup.
Which one, Mom?
Well, you gotta, either one, you gotta wet it with warm water and then put it on the baby.
Someone put tape on the ground. Please keep it off.
Susan, that's a pretty good box. You might want to
Does it have a top?
Yeah, it's a Jacob box. You know, it's not collapsible right before your very eyes. Well, I can't worry about that.
This is too nice to hang on the back stairs.
Oh,
See, there's a shelf.
Oh, what is that? Oh, boy. Who's that from?
Mom and Dad?
Well, thank you very much.
It's getting kind of crowded there in the kitchen. I know.
How does it work,
Bring it
Beth?
here. You gotta push harder. Bring it here.
But you wet it and then your lipstick appears?
This here. I mean, this is cold water. That's why it's getting brighter. You gotta get hot water.
Now thanks, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Susan, you better have
New
some
telephone.
this stuff up. It's going to get lost.
Do you have a place for it, Malk?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the radio telephone I got.
Let me have it.
Oh.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
What is that on the sun porch at your house?
Dodge tape to the side, Alex. Dodge tape to the
Yeah.
side.
I guess we're gonna get our own set.
Oh, oh yeah.
That way we won't have to be envying everybody's.
It must be of Alex.
I can't get her water.
You can't get hot water?
Is that the beach baby?
Yeah.
That's neat. To Mom from Susan, Bill,
Hey.
Beth.
What'd you get, Alex?
Makeup. Oh, well.
I got
A what?
the
A Game Boy. Who's that from? Alex, who's that from? Oh.
Where's that from?
What is this? Mommy.
Is that one that does 50 games?
What?
How many?
No, it says over 100.
Over 100.
What's it saying?
Beth,
Huh?
Show Mom. Show Sam.
Beth, you see
Santa.
It's from me.
Sam.
Beth, did you see this Mama Sanctuary box?
Oh, a new bag,
Now,
Beth.
what have you done here?
Something cool.
That's a neat.
Checkers. Yeah, I looked at it.
That's a neat.
I got no idea what that is. That chest.
Oh. Oh, for the cottage to arrive by spring 1980.
It's gonna take 4 months.
That's it.
That's all right, you plan it because we have a meat dish, oval meat dish, 2 open vegetable dishes, a sauce frozen stand, and a sandwich tray.
Bill, I think.
Back, slow drive, you try to be back with them. Never can quite do things right.
Mommy got this. Mom, I can't read everything, so I'll just put these things.
Part of it's had Christmas, part of it's had the brick.
That's right.
Dad, you're stepping on the directions.
I am. I don't mean to be.
Yes, you are.
Merry Christmas, Mama.
Merry Christmas.
That's not how you do
You
that
wrap
thing in the
this
back.
now?
Were you surprised, Mommy?
Yes.
Yes, she
I
was
was
surprised.
surprised.
Not much, we weren't.
Very surprised.
This is just outside.
Oh.
So like,
Did you see that bracelet you gave me?
Yeah.
get 2 balls.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Pretty.
I can't get her shoes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going for the cream.
Pretty. When did you do this? Oh, my goodness.
I've been messing around down there trying to get our watches back.
And while you were waiting for the watch and you bought this, be a little loose.
Game.
Heavy.
They only got,
Yeah!
you got most of them that time.
You missed 2.
March, the 4th day of March, 1989. And we're in Carmel, and this is Beth's gymnastics class. And Beth is right there. And Beth is right there, and she is next to Stephanie Hall, who is our neighbor and her best friend. I'll give you a view here of the whole class. Brian's. Yes, Brian. Yeah, we're good friends. Gotta shake those knees. There's Beth. This is people who are wearing pink. People who are wearing pink are jumping all the way across. She's now jumping out and in. Bear walking. These are the girls wearing pink, and they are bear walking now. Brian is jumping and shaking the camera. There they go, bear walking.
This time we're gonna bear walk backwards.
Bear walking backwards.
If you have on, I can't remember. White.
Now bear walking backwards. Hi, Beth. There's Brian's class.
My class.
And that must be Brian right there.
My class.
Class right here. Zoom in. I don't know who these children are. Maybe Beth will in 20 years.
What did you say? Dad, what did you say?
That obviously is Beth right there. And needless to say, Steffi is real close to Beth.
Hey, Elizabeth, go get me 3 target squares. 3 target squares. I'm trying to keep it as small as possible. I did. Thank you. Joey, go get me 3 target
A lot of activity here. A lot of things going on in the background. Boy, sitting next to her.
You guys are crazy now. Just turn around and caution them to do style.
Getting some instruction here. Big spectator audience here. He is wearing a big hit this fall and winter, a Hard Rock Tokyo sweatshirt. Hall in the audience today. Ralph Hall is famous because he is Stephanie Hall's father, and he is here working on a presentation to the executive committee, which he has to give next week. Good morning, Ralph. Thank you very much. Stephanie Hall, Susan's Beth's best friend.
Sit on it.
This is quite a routine here.
Knees up. That's good. Keep your belly pushed up. Now put your knees up. Knees up. Good. Now your feet. And stand up. Stretch your arms out. Walk.
All right.
Pull that tummy in. There you go.
Oh, there we
Turn.
go.
Jump.
Turn.
Land on it.
There.
Good job. Over there, Stephanie. Walk up on your tiptoes. Kendra, over here.
We'll go through her whole routine.
Up on your toes, Stephanie. Up on your toes. Try to stay up there. Kendra, right here. Climb up where you're right over and sit on it. Good. Take your toes up. Toes.
Now there's
Keep your belly
some
pushed
jumping
up.
to be
Put your
done.
knees up. Those are fast, Stephanie. Fast.
Fast,
Stand up.
fast, fast.
Stand up.
Some hopscotching to be done.
Can you do it?
And now she comes around.
Tongue in.
Now she does 5 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Straddle, Stephanie. Straddle.
well, at least 5
Jump.
there.
Land. Nice job. Over there, walk up on your tiptoes. Stay
Okay.
still. Go.
Stephanie's getting more than her money's
Here,
worth
crawl
here
underneath the balance.
because she only needed to do 5.
Step up there.
She's doing more than the judges require. And
Take your toes
the
up.
judges score this
Put your knees up. Put your feet up.
a 9.6.
Jump, Kendra.
Up
Crawl underneath
Tolbert.
the beam and over here.
And here she comes.
Stand right here.
Here's her instructor.
Take your toes up. The knees up.
Kind of wondering about, but he
Stay up there,
seems to be a good
Steven.
gym instructor.
Put arms out.
Here's Beth.
Walk in.
She has those
Keep it
hands
right in the
up.
middle of the beam. Right in the middle.
Has those toes in the middle of the
Tongue
beam.
in. Tongue in.
Hands up.
Good. Turn.
Absolutely
Land. Don't put
perfect
those hands
balance.
down.
Got
All
those
right.
hands.
Walk on the toes. Joey.
Now we have to do
Again,
the
all by
all
yourself.
difficult toe
I get to watch
walk.
you on your balance beam.
And we'll just focus here on these
Up on your
toes
toes,
for
Beth. On
just
your
a
toes.
minute.
Get your tongue in.
There she is.
Tongue.
You have to get this
Take your toes up.
tongue in, he said. Whatever that means. Now we're doing the jumps.
Don't wobble. Slow.
3 big jumps.
Nice job. Now jump around without putting your hands down.
Keep those hands up.
Keep your hands off the ground, Joey. Over there. Joey, walk backwards this
1,
time. Stephanie, let's
2,
go.
3,
Backwards.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Backwards is going to be
8.
harder. You got to go
Again,
slower.
Beth also was doing extra for the judges. 5 was the required. Judges like extra.
Take your toes up.
And a pretty happy lady here with her score. And let's see what the judges scored this. There it is. It's a 9.6. 9.6 from the judges.
Don't put those hands down when you jump. Go, jump.
Pretty happy with that.
Jump. Keep hands up. There you go. Walk backwards this time, Stephanie.
With
Backwards. Kendall.
Here's Stephanie doing her next routine.
Kendra. Over here.
This time, I think she must be walking backwards on the beat. Very delicate maneuver.
Kendra. Okay. Come on over here, Kendra. No. Your turn. Go under the beam. Go walk around. Stand on the red mat here.
Very difficult maneuver. The backward toe walk on the low beam.
Okay. Take toes up. And knees. Stand up. Stand up nice and tall. Those arms out. You can do it. You can do it. Take those arms out, Stephanie. Arms out. Green square. Jump. Don't put your hands down. Good job. Start walking backwards. Stacy. Let's go. Good job, Stephanie. Go that way now. That way. There you go.
Now Stephanie is off to the races again. The hard part of this maneuver is behind her.
Finish up.
Yes, yes.
The balance beam. Put your arms out. Don't fall.
Goes.
Your arms straight.
And a few more of the side jumps. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Just land on the green square.
And again, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Good job. Walk backwards
16,
this time.
17,
Elizabeth.
18. And again,
Okay, Stephanie, move on.
much exceeded the expectations of the judges.
Elizabeth, come on.
The score that time was a 9.7. Improvement over the last time, probably because of the extra credit points on the above expectations jumps at the end. Starting her routine. Up a slip, but the judges had not started counting. They don't start counting until they're in a full upright position.
Arms very still. And turn and jump.
Perfect score on the high beam. This is the most difficult part of this routine, obviously. The backward toe-to-toe upward reverse lowering beam movement.
All right, next part, Stephen. Hey, Beth, when you walk, watch your green dot. Toes up.
Doing very well here.
Joey, start again. Start again.
Oh, don't talk to her. Comment her. Up, that'll cost her. That'll cost her.
All right, up.
A slip.
There you go.
That'll cost them the scoring a little bit, but not a lot.
Slow. Keep going. Good. Now don't put your hands down. Nice
Oh, there's
job.
another one. There's another one.
Backwards again, Joey. Stephanie.
Let's see if she goes for
Great
extra
arms, Joey.
points.
Those arms out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, she did extra credits too.
Watch the balance.
That score
Put arms
would
out.
be,
Go walk. Take steps.
hasn't come up yet,
Watch down here.
9.7, and she's obviously very happy with that. 9.7. Very, very happy with the 9.7 score. This is a new friend, obviously. Moves over close to her.
Hands up. Good job. Backwards again. Kendra. Go.
thought that maybe she only had one friend, but I guess she has two friends here. And once again, we have the audience here admiring everything. Some of them are quite characters, obviously. This one's been eating donuts. They're here in the audience, a famous person. This is Mommy Tolbert here. To record that she's here. She's with Ralph Hall, who is still working on his report. Tolbert is not here today. He is with a friend overnight, Clay Reardon. Almost a slip, but no discount credits there. Very good. Those arms up. Another one of those difficult backwards walk, toes up on the low beam maneuver. She's checking out the red dot. Very important to have the red dot just right. Yes, and she's being very careful. Very up. Little slip there. Little slip there. Little slip there. She may be getting tired. Nice arm motions there. Nice arms motions.
Good job. Square. Okay, back next part. And go. Left hand. No hands. Don't put your hand down. And jump. And jump. Good job, Dad. Look at the red dot. Watch it the whole time.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she did just exactly what the judges required. That routine. Now we're waiting for a scoring here. And that routine is 9.8. And she obviously likes that score. 9.8.
We're gonna go on. And quick. All right.
It's in her hair here.
Go. 2, 1. Good. Now you smell it.
Yeah. They're doing a very difficult maneuver called a forward roll on a balance beam. Here's Beth. Head down. There she goes with a roll. Good job. Good job.